We just had to not like each other for a bit.
You had to not like me, which
True.
came easy.
So easy.
Or I could be Spider-Man.
Okay, make that pitch right now to Tom Holland. You're out, you're in.
Tom Holland did a great job though. so I don't know. Maybe they do need to make a new one for me.
There's an actor or actress, or I don't even know how this person identifies at this moment in time, that could come in and save the MCU. And that person is Last of Us star Bella Ramsey.
In The Last of Us Part 2, who the majority of the fans were like, that's not Ellie.
I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was.
Bella Ramsey says that they could be Spider-Man.
Joel, I think I found something.
Whoa!
What?
No, nothing. It's just your forehead seems bigger than last season.
I think I found a way through.
Yes, maybe we can prop it open with something and you can slide.
Whoa! Oh my god, what?
Is it getting bigger?
Stop it.
No, seriously, what's with that?
It's fine, Joel.
Does it hurt?
Joel, please. You're making me self-conscious.
I'm sorry, it's just a little bit startling.
Normal head, Joel. Can we just get back to the door things?
It's planetary.
Leave it.
It's gonna have its own area code soon.
Marvel is falling apart, and the cracks are no longer whispers. They're headlines. For over a decade, the MCU dominated Hollywood, turning unknown actors into legends and every film into a billion-dollar spectacle. But today, the empire is crumbling. Flops stack up, Disney scrambles for relevance, and fans are left wondering if the Marvel magic has finally burned out.
From what I understand, she wants to play Spider-Man. She's not quite Spider-Man.
And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any messier, Bella Ramsey, the breakout star of The Last of Us, dropped a line that lit Hollywood on fire. Or I could be Spider-Man. What should have been a cheeky red carpet joke turned into a cultural war. Avengers veterans slammed her, furious that she would even hint at replacing Tom Holland as the face of Marvel's crown jewel.
Or I could be Spider-Man.
Okay, make that pitch right now to Tom Holland. You're out, you're in.
Tom Holland did a great job though. So I don't know. Maybe they do need to make a new one for me.
But then came the twist nobody expected. Pedro Pascal, one of the biggest stars on the planet, and Bella's on-screen partner, stepped forward and publicly backed her. His message was clear. Bella Ramsey has what it takes to be Spider-Man. Suddenly, this wasn't just a joke or a meme. It was a rebellion. Avengers actors are furious. Disney is caught in the crossfire, and Marvel's future has never looked more uncertain. The question now isn't just whether Bella Ramsey could play Spider-Man, it's whether Marvel is about to tear itself apart trying to stop her.
There's an actor or actress, or I don't even know how this person identifies at this moment in time, that could come in and save the MCU. And that person is Last of Us star Bella Ramsey. But this is the headline that went around yesterday that a lot of people are having fun with. Bella Ramsey says they could be the next Spider-Man. They also say Andrew Garfield's version is incredible and that they loved it.
Marvel used to be invincible. Every release was an event, every premiere a celebration, every character an instant legend. Fans packed theaters in midnight lines, and Disney sat comfortably on top of the entertainment world. But those days are long gone. The empire is bleeding. Eternals was mocked across the internet. Quantumania was branded a disaster. The Marvels collapsed so badly at the box office that executives behind closed doors reportedly panicked. Even Disney Plus shows like She-Hulk and Secret Invasion failed to capture imaginations, leaving audiences drained instead of excited. Now, Marvel isn't innovating, it's scrambling. Rumors of a desperate project called Avengers. Doomsday swirl, with Disney trying to bring back every recognizable face just to drag fans back into theaters. But the more they plan, the more it reeks of panic. And it's in this moment of weakness that Bella Ramsey's comment about being Spider-Man landed. It wasn't just a passing remark, it was a spark in a room soaked with gasoline. And Avengers veterans, they didn't laugh. They erupted.
Have you changed up your impression at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the noise is the same. I've not got any more noises in my back pocket. The new infected are pretty terrifying. They're so smart, and they haven't really got a noise. That's the whole point of them, is they're silent and terrifying.
Ooh, give us a little silent and terrifying.
The reaction from Marvel's old guard was swift and brutal. Avengers veterans who had carried the MCU through its golden age weren't amused by Bella's playful suggestion. To them, it wasn't funny. It was an insult. One actor reportedly snapped, "Spider-Man isn't a gimmick. It's a legacy. You don't just joke about taking it over." Others hinted in interviews that Disney had lost control of its crown jewel, letting headlines and memes run wild instead of protecting their most valuable character. The backlash wasn't subtle. It was sharp, cutting, and filled with anger. Headlines exploded. Avengers actors slam Bella Ramsey over Spider-Man joke. Fans were stunned to see Marvel legends openly turning against a young star in such a public way, and just when it looked like Bella might back down, she did the opposite. Bella Ramsey had had enough. After days of criticism from Hollywood heavyweights and waves of memes mocking her, she finally broke her silence, and she didn't mince her words. "Stop this shit!" she snapped, her voice cutting through the noise with raw frustration. She accused Marvel veterans of gatekeeping, of trying to silence new talent, and of protecting a system that was already collapsing under its own weight. "I'm not disrespecting Spider-Man," she declared. "I'm disrespecting the idea that only a chosen few get to decide who belongs. That's the problem with this industry." Her fiery response went viral instantly. Clips spread across TikTok, hashtags trended worldwide, and the internet lit up with debates. Some hailed her courage, others called her reckless. But just as the controversy seemed ready to consume her, a powerful ally stepped forward. Out of nowhere, Pedro Pascal, one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, entered the firestorm. Known as the internet's daddy and adored for roles in The Mandalorian and The Last of Us, Pedro carried massive influence, and this time, he used it to back Bella. In an interview that shocked fans, he praised Bella's talent and said she had everything it takes to redefine Spider-Man. "People underestimate her," he said, "but I've seen what she can do. If she wanted to take on Spider-Man, she'd crush it." The internet exploded. Bella wasn't standing alone anymore. She had Pedro Pascal, one of Hollywood's biggest stars, in her corner. Fans rallied behind their bond from The Last of Us, painting them as a duo ready to shake the MCU to its core. Avengers veterans, however, were furious. This wasn't just Bella trolling anymore. Now, one of Hollywood's most respected names was fueling the fire. Suddenly, Disney found itself at the center of a cultural war. On one side, Avengers veterans, furious that Bella and Pedro's comments were gaining traction. On the other side, Bella's growing army of supporters, emboldened by Pedro's endorsement. Reports began surfacing that Disney executives were watching closely. Some insiders whispered that Marvel's desperation for relevance might actually push them to entertain the idea of shocking casting moves. Fans speculated that Disney was letting the chaos play out to test the waters. But that gamble had consequences. Avengers veterans felt betrayed, claiming Disney was abandoning the actors who built the MCU just to ride viral waves. Fans began accusing the studio of sacrificing storytelling for clickbait controversy. Disney didn't comment, but their silence only fueled the narrative. Marvel's collapse wasn't just happening on screen, it was happening in real life. The fandom split like glass under pressure. Supporters of Bella and Pedro praised them as the spark Marvel needed to escape its corporate chains. They saw Bella's boldness and Pedro's loyalty as a symbol of fresh blood ready to rebuild the MCU from scratch. To them, this wasn't about replacing Tom Holland, it was about saving Marvel's soul. But protectors of the legacy were outraged. To them, Spider-Man was sacred, and Bella's involvement, even as a joke, was an insult. They launched petitions, flooded forums, and accused Disney of spitting on tradition. Tom Holland's decade of work, they argued, couldn't just be erased with a meme and a quote. Within days, hashtags trended globally. Der Team Bella versus Protect Spider-Man. Petitions on both sides gathered tens of thousands of signatures. The internet wasn't just debating casting anymore. It was fighting a war over who controlled Marvel's future. And with Pedro Pascal standing firmly behind Bella, that war was only getting started. The media wasted no time. What started as a red carpet joke had evolved into something Hollywood couldn't resist, a generational war. Headlines reframed the story into something bigger. The old guard of Avengers actors versus the bold disruptors represented by Bella and Pedro. Entertainment outlets pushed identity politics into the spotlight. Bella was painted as a symbol of change, young, unconventional, unafraid to break the mold. Pedro Pascal became her protector, the respected Hollywood A-lister daring to back a rising star against the establishment. Meanwhile, Avengers veterans were cast as bitter, outdated defenders of a system that no longer worked. They weren't just actors anymore. They were gatekeepers standing in the way of progress. Disney didn't step in to clarify. They didn't deny it. They didn't defend their veterans. And they didn't silence Bella or Pedro. They just watched as the chaos grew louder. To some, that silence was proof. Marvel wasn't in control of its own story anymore. And then there was Tom Holland. For years, he had been the face of Spider-Man, carrying Marvel's crown jewel on his shoulders. But now, his legacy felt under siege. At first, he stayed quiet, but as Bella's firestorm grew and Pedro threw his full support behind her, Holland reportedly snapped. He warned that the MCU was turning into a circus. He accused Disney of letting memes dictate the future of Spider-Man. "This isn't about representation or creativity," he said in one interview. "This is about Disney gambling with Spider-Man because they have nothing left, and I won't stand by while they use Bella to destroy what we built." The comments hit hard. Fans sympathetic to Holland rallied to his defense, framing Bella and Pedro as saboteurs. Others slammed him as insecure, unwilling to accept change. The clash had shifted from playful speculation to a bitter fight with personal stakes. And if you thought things couldn't get worse, the rumors swirling inside Disney suggested they could. It sounded unthinkable. But insiders claimed Disney executives were watching the chaos closely. The viral buzz, the trending hashtags, the endless fan edits. It was free publicity during a time when Marvel desperately needed attention. Some whispered that Bella Ramsey's name had actually been mentioned in secret casting discussions. Not as a replacement for Peter Parker, but as part of a potential Spider-Verse-style twist. One that could allow Bella to step into the suit without erasing Holland. Still, the very idea terrified Marvel veterans. To them, even entertaining Bella's casting was proof that Disney had lost its soul. To fans, it became a question of survival. Would Disney gamble everything on chaos just to stay relevant? And Pedro's unwavering support gave Bella's movement a legitimacy that couldn't be ignored. The memes stopped being jokes. They became weapons. On TikTok, edits of Bella and Pedro as Spider-Man and Mentor went viral. Fan art depicted Bella swinging across New York with Pedro at her side, smiling proudly. Hashtags like Jambella for Spider-Man and Yoch Pedro stands. With Bella flooded Twitter. Supporters transformed Bella's fiery words, "Stop this shit," into a rallying cry. It wasn't just about casting anymore. It was about rebellion, about tearing down the old Marvel system and demanding something new. Meanwhile, critics doubled down. They mocked Marvel as a circus, plastered memes of Bella over collapsing box office charts, and accused Disney of turning its most beloved hero into a punchline. And Tom Holland, he could only watch as his decade-long legacy slipped further into the hands of memes and movements he couldn't control. The divide reached a boiling point. Behind the scenes, Avengers veterans were reportedly furious with Disney. They felt abandoned, betrayed by the very studio they helped build. Some insiders claimed heated calls erupted between Marvel actors and executives, with accusations that the studio was selling out Spider-Man's legacy for chaos. Fans could feel the tension. It wasn't just Bella versus Tom anymore. It was Bella and Pedro versus the entire Avengers family. With Disney quietly sitting on the sidelines, letting the drama explode. Marvel's once glorious brand had become a battlefield. The stars who built it were now clashing with the stars Disney wanted to use to save it, and the fallout threatened to rip the MCU apart. What began as a simple red carpet remark spiraled into the biggest casting controversy Marvel had ever faced. Bella Ramsey joked about being Spider-Man, Avengers veterans attacked. And instead of backing down, she snapped with her viral "Stop this shit." But the shockwave came when Pedro Pascal stood at her side. His support turned Bella's joke into a movement, sparking petitions, memes, and fan campaigns that Disney couldn't control. The Avengers were furious, Tom Holland was desperate to protect his legacy, and Marvel looked weaker than ever. The truth is, Marvel's survival no longer rests on box office numbers alone. Its future is being rewritten online, in memes, hashtags, and viral battles that no executive can stop. So, will Disney actually gamble its most sacred hero on Bella Ramsey, with Pedro Pascal standing guard at her side? Or will the Avengers revolt destroy the MCU before Bella even gets her chance to swing? One thing's for sure, the next headline won't be about Marvel's glory days. It'll be about whether Marvel can survive the war it created.